Welcome to another episode of the Expert Digital AI podcast, where we deep dive into artificial intelligence, generative AI, and digital transformation.
All right, so AI and VR today. Buckle up. We're talking about virtual worlds. They might just outshine, the one outside our windows. Seriously, get ready for some, pinch me moments.
It really goes way beyond just those cool experiences, though. And those are definitely coming, right? But imagine learning, imagine training, even designing in environments that feel unbelievably real. AI-powered VR has this potential to just completely change the game.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this a bit. This DX Today article, it's hot off the press, October 3rd, 2024. It talks about AI taking VR to a whole new level. Picture this. Virtual characters that don't just parrot pre-programmed lines, but they actually respond to you like real people.
Exactly. And they're intelligent and they're responsive. Virtual characters, the article actually uses that phrase. It's spot on. AI is becoming the brain behind this much more dynamic and interactive VR experience.
Yeah.
And it's not just the characters either, right? Even the environments themselves, they can adapt to you, and it happens so fast on the fly. Imagine a virtual world that learns what you like, what challenges you, and it just evolves with you, in real time.
And we have got to talk about how AI is making VR run so much smoother, too. Choppy graphics, lag, that totally kills the vibe. Nobody wants a headache from a glitching headset.
Absolutely. Smooth performance is key for true immersion. You know what I mean? What's so fascinating here is how AI is actually being used to analyze user behavior.
Yeah.
And it's happening in real time to create this seamless experience.
Yeah.
And it's this constant feedback loop, right? So it allows for not just smoother performance, but also for those personalized and reactive environments we were just talking about. That's what makes it feel so real.
It's almost like
it's wild, right?
Yeah, like you're tricking your brain into
totally
believing it.
Exactly.
So we're talking AI, and it's getting seriously smart, right? The article mentions machine learning, deep learning, all that. I'll be honest, that stuff always sounds, kind of intimidating to me.
Yeah, it can sound complicated for sure. They're really powerful tools, but maybe this analogy might help. Think about it like training a dog. You're constantly feeding the AI tons and tons of data about the real world, so it learns to recognize those patterns. And then it can make predictions, just like a dog learns commands.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So it's not just about the graphics getting better, right? Although, that's definitely part of it. But it's AI is cracking the code on reality, and it's using that to make VR more believable, right?
Yeah, you got it. And the article, it actually calls out something called computer vision. And basically, that's how AI processes visual information. And this is way beyond just making pretty pictures. Okay, we're talking about AI understanding the spatial relationships between different objects, how things actually move in a 3D space. That's what gives you that feeling of actually being somewhere else.
So instead of a chair in VR just looking like, a 3D model of a chair, the AI understands things like how the light should hit it, how it would even feel if you touched it, making it way more believable to our brains.
Exactly. Precisely. And it gets even more interesting, to be honest. The article mentions something called intelligent NPCs, and that stands for non-player characters. So the characters you interact with in a game or, a virtual world.
Right.
And it talks about how they could actually hold these meaningful conversations with you. So, if AI can hold up its end of a conversation really convincingly, then what does that tell us about how capable it is?
Whoa, yeah, that's a huge, huge leap.
Right.
Are we talking about AI that understands things like context, even emotion, to make you feel like you're interacting with something that's actually thinking?
It's definitely getting us closer.
Yeah.
Think about it. To make those virtual characters, believable, AI needs to actually grasp those little nuances of human expression, how we respond to each other. We're not just talking about these pre-scripted interactions anymore, but something that feels way more organic, you're talking to a real person.
Okay, now I'm really seeing the potential here. So imagine this. You have this big presentation at work coming up, right? High stakes, important stuff. Instead of just pacing around your living room trying to practice, you could throw on a VR headset and boom, you're in a simulated conference room. There's a handful of these AI colleagues in there with you, and they are firing questions at you.
And it's not just that they're firing questions at you. It's that those AI colleagues, they're not just reading off a script. They can adapt, to how you're presenting. They can throw in those unexpected curveballs and really put you through your paces.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like having a personal coach.
Wow. Okay, so that changes everything about how we prepare for situations like that then.
Right.
You walk into the real life meeting, you're going to feel like you've already aced it a dozen times because you have.
Exactly. The practice, the experience, it's invaluable.
And that's just one example, right? We're talking like revolutionizing education, therapy even just like how we connect with friends and family. You know, this article says AI and VR could revolutionize how we interact with virtual environments, but it feels like that's already happening, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely happening.
Games are one thing, but what about like everyday stuff? You know, work, school, even just like hanging out.
Right, yeah.
It's like VR is becoming less of an escape and more like an extension of our reality.
Yeah. An extension, exactly. The line between the virtual and the real, it's definitely getting blurrier. And honestly, that's the exciting part. Like, this isn't about, just escaping into these virtual worlds anymore. This is about how these virtual worlds can actually like enhance and expand our real lives.
So cool.
It really is.
Okay, so like, what's next? Where do we go from here?
Well, I think that's the thought I want to leave you with today, actually.
Okay.
Imagine a world where, like, you can learn a new skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you learn it by, like, virtually stepping into the shoes of an expert.
Yeah.
And you're experiencing, like, their every move, Or you could collaborate with colleagues, but they're on the other side of the world, and it feels like you're in the same room.
It's mind-blowing when you actually stop and think about the possibilities.
It really is.
Yeah.
The potential here it's huge. So as we kind of venture into these, increasingly immersive, these virtual worlds, let's not forget to explore all those possibilities.
This deep dive has been incredible. So much to think about. Until next time.